Hello, Dayspring Dreamers. I recently became involved in the planning of the Trans Pride Fest, which is actually a pretty big deal here in Denton. Last time I played the show, it was great. It was crazy. It was awesome with my old band. I'm hoping that I can still play, even though I'm helping organize it, which, you know, how I was led there, I have no idea, but I'm happy to be a part of it. It could be a good season arc, a better one than what would have happened otherwise, which I don't really know what would have happened otherwise. I feel myself having the instinct to entertain when I get on this thing. Immediately, it's entertain, false, there are so many layers between this expression right now and you watching it, because the expression has to go through the filters of language, through the filters of kind of the perverse incentives of my own mind, and also the algorithm, and also, the editing process. It's what I do and don't choose to include. This is not authentic, and it never really will be. This right here is not authentic. It's being known as a lot more complicated and tricky than that, and to know someone is a lot more complicated and tricky than that, and it'll be great tools of growth for you, because at the end of the day there will always be areas where you find you fall up short. On that note, I gotta legitimize myself, I think, as a solo act, and then I'm gonna go to a club later in Dallas later tonight, but gotta legitimize myself as a solo act, which I released the demos. Who knows, maybe I won't even be a solo act, because there is talks of maybe musical collaboration with other people. But how I feel right now is probably this one. or this one, even. And nicotine. Don't do it. Don't do nicotine. I don't know why I'm doing it right now. I thought that, oh yeah, a little hit or two. Oh, you're giving it to me? Okay, yeah, a little hit or two. Very quickly, it unravels me. Papa, if you're watching this, text me. Teach me how to make that gumbo. I'd really like that. And Dad, if you're watching this, respond to my texts. Ugh. Very quickly, this has devolved. I came in here thinking I had something I wanted to say, and now I'm just not saying it. You know what? No cuts for this video. Eliza, this is not a good format. I don't know if I'm a good person, per se, but I don't think I'm a bad person. I don't think there's anything righteous about any of the things that I'm doing, but I try to treat people with dignity, and I try to treat myself with dignity. I know I'm an annoying person to be around, if that's what being like a good person is, being good in different aspects of things, and I guess part of that would be service onto others, and if I'm quite annoying, then no. Well, service unto who others? Everyone has their place, little spot, so it's not, bad or good. It's just, well, I guess working with what you've got to do the best you can. Is that profound? I don't know, I feel like I want to be a club kid. I kind of, I'm good at this. It's kind of paving my way. It's really the thing that I do best. And I think I have a pretty good head on my shoulders, and I have good friends who will keep me out of trouble. So, yeah, what the hell? Just good vibrations all around. It's the thing, I'm hanging out with... I don't think I'm a neurotic person. I feel like I'm around a lot of neurotic people, at least I was really young. So I am just hyper vigilant or other people's neuroses. I don't actually give a shit. I'm pretty loosey-goosey, I think, deep down. But now I'm hanging out with other people like me, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of earth-shattering, and it's kind of really challenging because it's not these aren't the patterns that I'm familiar with, and I've took a minute to look within. And if you've been a long time viewer, you know the process, at least the process I've been on recently, of looking within and then creating and pushing outwards. But it's been a long process all of my life, but like recently, like the last 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 months or so of looking within and like doing all this inner work, shadow work, watching YouTube tarot card readings, 333, this video will find you at the perfect time. And yeah, I've been transformed. I love myself. And I love my friends. And I love my neighbors. And I love my enemies. And I love the trees and everything around me. It's all communicating. It's all buzzing. It's all harmonious. And it's all here. It's all now. It's all vibe. They really like me at the club. I'm a good fit. How have I never really got into this? I don't know. I was just insecure and needy, and I still kind of am, but ain't that a trip? I still kind of am. Still trying to figure it out. It's just I've progressed, and now I'm still, it's looping outwards, and still the issues are there. Not everything's fixed. I've just made a lot of progress. Still hoping to make more progress. Anyways, Papa teach me how to make gumbo. Dad answer my texts. That one bitch who said I'll never be a real girl. Keep in mind, you're a non-binary detransitioner, and you're calling other people true scum, and then you're saying after the fact, oh well, you'll never be a real woman, after I did something to piss you off, but actually it was a secret little thing to rage bait you because you were pissing me off. Evil maneuver. Maybe evil, I don't know. I feel like it was something that needed to be done, something that needed to be said. I needed to hear that. I am a real woman, as real as anything is real as the concept of woman is real. Hey, Matt Walsh. Think different. You're asking the wrong questions. What is a woman? I'm the very platonic ideal. But, you showed me I saw the TV glow. And I'm sorry I pissed you off. Well, actually, I'm not. Because you pissed me off. Way more over a way longer time. You suck. Your energy is rancid. Your soul is fucking rancid. Fix it. You can fix it if you want. You can fix it. But it's not my job to fix it for you. I mean, I can't fix it for you. So, went to some more raves. Clubs. I went to a rave. It was under a bridge. It was underground. It was really cool. But, went home, did a pool party thing, and got dumped. Which is how I'm living here, is like through that relationship. So, some housing insecurity. That's okay though, because I do ketamine under bridges. So, I'll figure it out. Real talk, I'm starting to think that maybe this whole project is just an elaborate way for me to ignore the fact that I am in an existential crisis. Also, update, I learned that my landlord was never going to kick me out. The landlord never said anything like that. It was another roommate who lied and said that, which I kind of thought in the back of my mind maybe. But yeah, and they called me a faggot and said I'd never be a real woman. Well, okay. Okay, bitch. Whatever. Yeah, here I am. Sitting here, reflecting. I've processed a lot. No, I don't want to romanticize addiction or anything. Drank like 5 shots without missing a beat, I might add. That's one thing. That's like the main reason why I drink is because I can drink it and like I can drink it and like react as if it were water. And I think that people around me see that and are like, wow, she's really cool. But anyways, did that, went into the bathtub, and I turned off the lights and played Fleetwood Mac's greatest hits. And I don't have Spotify Premium, so every now and again, like Landslide plays, Silver Spring plays, and then I get like an ad for detergent, and I'm just there, drunk as fuck in the bathtub, squirming around while my now ex cleans up in the apartment to get it ready for the return of their partner, which I'm in a poly. I was in a poly situation, I guess, and there was this long-term partner. So I've kind of feel a little bit used because that long-term partner is coming back tomorrow. Season 2 has just begun. This is episode 2 of season 2. 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Born in 03, though. 333, Archangel Gabriel. Flying above. Given my situation, baseline, if what I'm doing is deluded, if what I'm doing is just a freak out, that makes sense. And if all this stuff is just my subconscious trying to help me cope with an unfathomable situation of being, aware of one's demise, that's imminent, and a life of toil, suffering, pain, only then to be cut off short, being a carcass and not really knowing it yet, and desperately lashing out with mediocre poetry. Those are the cards I've been dealt. And you know what? I'm the one who's got to live this life, and I'm the one who's got to die my death. And by daimonism or default, here I am. But, Papa, I want you to teach me how to make gumbo. Yeah, you can't. They're trying to censor me, but they can't censor me. I think that at my most real, authentic self, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've been talking with people about this, but at my most real, authentic self, it's just a hurt, crying, vulnerable, wounded fawn in the snow. And I remember once as a kid, I actually knew this baby deer that was separated from its mother back when I was at the ranch in Comanche, Texas. And I brought it up and I tried to nurse it back to health. But it died. And it was already dead. It just didn't know it yet. There was nothing that could be done. It was separated from its mother. It was a wild animal. What could have been done? What structure could there have been? My love and the love of the people around me directed towards it was not enough. Despite the best efforts, it just wasn't enough. And I'm realizing that the Dayspring dream
and all that. If this all just is my subconscious, like with like the visions and stuff, maybe. It's at least interesting. I'm losing faith, I guess, but it's at least interesting. That's what I wanted. You can go back to the first video. Something at least a little bit interesting. I've always been aware of these things. It's not new. It's just, in the Ferris wheel, rotating. Now this is the one I'm on. And it's going up and then down, and then it'll be on to the next thing, and I'll forget about it until that goes in. And it all just cycles around and around and around and around the Ferris wheel. And all below, pigs cry and squeal, and they grab their guns and their parking teals and their starched white shirts and their pre-planned meals. The wanderlust heroics in a histrionic rhythm, because every fleeing rabbit is a type of politician. So when they pull you over, have your makeup on hand, you're a waste of a woman or the perfect man. My faggotry has gotten me in trouble before. People say the tide is turning. People say the pendulum is swinging. There is no pendulum. It's a panopticon. I will say, I think my role is to document the great trans dying. Look what they're doing. And we thought we could run to Chicago. They're going to send the military to Chicago. Okay. They're sending the military to Chicago. It was my plan to go to Chicago. I had this plan. I asked someone on TikTok. Well, this one chaser asked me on TikTok. And said I could stay there. Said he had a free room in his apartment in Chicago, somewhere on the west side. I'm like, great, fantastic. He was a disabled veteran on disability, had benefits with the VA, had this room, was previously homeless, trying to help me out. Also may have been a serial killer trying to murder me, or traffic me, or whatever it might be. Spin the wheel of fate, But I thought, I'm just going to take all my stuff, sell it, rent a car, take what I can fit in there, drive out to Chicago to the guy's place, get set up. Didn't happen. Friends said it was crazy. Family said it was crazy. Well, family I've been trying really hard to reconnect with. But, friends who I've been connecting with. But, I felt like I was saved by community, by people. Brought me in, took me out from the snow. And they have been caring for me, this group of friends. And I got scared. And there was this chaser who was giving me a lot of attention. This one in Denton. Giving me a lot of attention, giving me a lot of free things, including food, a place to live, with promise of being a housewife. And the house was all like really vintage. So I was like a 70s housewife for a bit there, which there are some clips of me there on my TikTok while I was still figuring it all out. But I was saved from that. And more of the wallpapers falling. What a great visual metaphor. Don't you love visual metaphors and creating symbols with things and then watching how they evolve as situations evolve? Isn't that awesome? Just to remind you. I need to sink it in for you in case I had forgotten. But it was a great experience all around with this person. Not the chaser, the other person. Which makes it really sad that I couldn't sustain it. But there's no one to blame, and there's nothing to blame. other than just how things work. But, you know, tomorrow their longtime partner gets back, and I can't help feel like the timing is a little bit suspicious. Like, I was a placeholder. And, like, I was disposable. And that's what it always comes down to. But, not gonna let my pettiness ruin things. I'm too mature. I'm simply too mature. Doing ketamine under bridges and stuff, but simply too mature. Oh, it's quite glamorous. This lifestyle, quite glamorous. Hey, Blair White, am I doing enough to promote the suffering of it all? Blair White, you know what? Fuck you, Blair White. Anyways, what else is there to talk about? I feel miffed, just in general, by life, by the state. I'm more mad at America than anything else. Not really mad at myself. Sometimes I am. Not really anymore. 22 minutes recording on this file. I'm gonna cut out a lot of it. Cutting out a lot of this. The current plan is to see where things go. Oh, I'm gonna be a star one of these days. And everyone's gonna love to gawk at me and just talk about my mental health. The discourse is gonna be crazy. Oh, hey, bro. Dayspring dreamers, Dayspring dancers. See you later. Cat's got your tongue. Wait. Take care.